I really love to be a teacher. Like I really love to teach people the beauty of the scuba diving, and I want to introduce this hobby to many girls here in Saudi Arabia.
Off Gassing, a scuba podcast with host Nick Hogel. In this conversation, Nouf Alosaimi shares her journey with Red Sea Citizen, emphasizing the importance of community and ocean conservation and her goal to empower more women to become involved in the sport. Speaking at the World Economic Forum, the impact of diving on environmental awareness, changing perceptions about sharks, an unexpected love for dry suits, and much more. Please enjoy. Nouf, how are you doing? It's this morning for you, correct?
Yes, not morning, it's afternoon, 2 p.m.
Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. And how is your day going so far?
It's great. We have newborn baby now. My sister, she just gave birth. So yeah, we're busy with the baby.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Is it is it your first time being an aunt, or is there
No,
other?
no. It's
Oh,
yeah, it's not the first, but each time it feels different, especially if it's your sister.
yeah.
Yeah, it feels like it's your son or daughter. So this is the second one from my sister.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I have 3 nieces and 2 nephews from one sister who is back in Texas. So
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
yeah, she
So
has.
you're from the US, Nick.
Yes, I am. Originally, so kind of all over the U.S., but I moved to Malaysia from Texas.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Work brought me out here, and it's absolutely wonderful, beautiful place. And to tell you the truth, I hadn't been to Malaysia that much before I moved here. Just
Mm-hmm.
one trip that I can recall, maybe something when I was younger, because we used to live out in this part of the world in Thailand, and we did
Yeah.
quite a bit of traveling, but I was really young at the time. So generally, sometimes I'll call my mother and be like, "Have I been here? Have we been here?"
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So, and it's quite funny because she grew up she's from Thailand, so she grew up in
Ah,
Thailand.
okay.
But her memories and her idea of Thailand is from 40 plus years ago, right? So it's
Wow.
very different than now. Like
Yeah.
I'll tell her like, "Oh, I'm going to this little tiny island," and she'll be like, "Why would you ever go there? There's nothing there. Why would you go there?" And
Yeah.
because maybe 50, 60 years ago there was nothing there, but
Yeah.
or there wasn't much there. But enough about me. I the first question I wanted to ask you is, tell me how and why you became a scuba diver. Tell me about that first breath underwater. What led to that moment? Was it, I absolutely love this? Was it, I absolutely hate this? Was it, this is okay?
I pushed my instructor to just keep me in the water. So the first breath, Nick, I'm from a mountain called the Taif, which is a city top of the mountain. So I'm not from Jeddah. Jeddah, it's on the coast of the Red Sea. So, when I grow up, we usually travel to the US and to places where there's beaches, water. I was obsessed with water. But I have never, ever before seen anyone scuba diving, or I haven't even in the TV, haven't seen scuba divers before. So after I finished my university, not, no, actually, when I was in the university, actually, I was studying in Manchester, and Manchester known as one of the rainiest city in the UK. It's very cold. So I felt really miserable. I want to go somewhere where there's sun, there's Arabic food. I miss our culture, and I also don't want to go back to Saudi. I want to see somewhere different. So I booked that trip to Sharm el Sheikh was in 2008. And once I arrived, there were a tour guide. He was just, he's like a salesman. He asked, do you want to go on boat trips? You want to go to the desert trips? I told him, it's my first time. Just book me in all the trips you have in here. I'm staying for 2 weeks. And he booked me actually on a boat, one of the boat trips. So I was on the boat. I still haven't seen scuba divers before. At that boat trip, a guy came and asked me, would you like to try scuba diving? Usually I love trying new stuff. I'm adventurous somehow. So I told him, yes, why not? So he told me how to breathe, how to equalize, how to clear my mask. Then I jumped in the water. Oh my God, Nick. The first thing I saw this beautiful pinnacle of corals with Anthias fish, the orange fish. I don't know if you have it there in Asia. It's amazing. So, the first time when you scuba dive, your instructor has to hold you because you don't have zero buoyancy, no buoyancy. So I was just holding my hands and pushing him away. Don't hold me. I want to be here. Khalas, don't hold me. So I was just pushing him away and he's holding me. So we were fighting underwater. When I came up, I told him, this is going to be my life. I wasted my time on earth, on land. So the next year, when I had holiday, I booked my open water. I went crazy, like tornado to scuba dive. I just want to do all the courses, everything. So the next holiday, I went back again to Egypt and I got my open water and my advanced in same holiday. So each time I have a holiday, I take a new course. So I got my rescue, and then when I graduated, I got my dive master, and then I decided to move to Egypt because I'm originally from Saudi. So I decided to go and move to Egypt, and I became instructor. I worked there for actually 3 years.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
No, that's absolutely amazing. I love hearing stories like that. It's, you hit the water, because I felt very much the same way as soon as I got into the water, because I think the first time I was in my early 30s when I took my first scuba diving course, or even the first time I went in the water. So I was like, man, why didn't I do this so much earlier in life? And
Yeah.
oh, I absolutely loved it. So when it came to the courses, how did you find the skills? Was that something easy to get into? Was that something that you found difficulty with? How was moving through the courses for you?
To be honest, when you start a new hobby or thing, you don't have enough knowledge about the skills and who's the professional or who's not professional. So I started like, usually the kicking was really bad, like I was like cycling underwater. And they tried to teach me how to kick from the top here, but the skills, because each holiday, I tell my students, it's not about the certificate. It's about the number of dives you do. So whenever you have chance to go diving, because this is what builds your experience and your skills. It's not a certificate. So unless you master this level, go to the next level. But I was really into this thing. And I am into something, I put all my energy, all my time on this thing. So even my thesis in the university was scuba diving because I was studying tourism management, and then I did it about diving tourism and stuff like that. So my whole life changed from this dive in 2008. And actually I was like 20 years old.
Oh, that's absolutely amazing. Oh, that's so much. I love hearing that. You this trip that you didn't even have a plan of what you were going to do. You just knew you wanted to go, ended up in the water, and
Yeah,
instantly you're on a whole new course that was completely different the day before. So that's absolutely
exactly. Yeah.
amazing.
And just one breath has changed my whole life, Nick. Yeah, you never know. So that's why I always tell people try new stuff, try something new, because you never know if it's going to change your life, or at least you try something different or something new.
Yeah. No, for sure. And so when you were moving through the courses, did you know right away that instructor, this is something I want to move towards, or did it kind of gradually come on?
Never I thought I would be an instructor. Like I was just enjoying diving. In the beginning you say, no, 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 I'm gonna just take it easy. Just gonna have fun in scuba diving. To become instructor wasn't something I was planning from the beginning. But I was just going gradually improving myself and learning every day something new till I become dive master. And then I found out as a dive master, you're actually kind of slave. Everyone uses you, everyone clean the diving center, carry these tanks, go take some picture for the people. So you're not giving your best, you're not like leading or teaching. And I really love to be a teacher. Like I really love to teach people the beauty of the scuba diving, and I want to introduce this hobby to many girls here in Saudi Arabia, because before I didn't know about it. So I want to introduce it to the people in here, and I really want to teach it. So that's the moment when I decided to become scuba diving instructor, to have authority. I can't
Ah,
teach now.
yeah. So at first, how was that transition? Obviously, I do know the dive master. They're kind of the grunts of the professional world. I mean, there's huge benefits. There's, an accomplishment that's achieved.
Yeah.
But how did you find going from, okay, I'm just a recreational diver enjoying dives. Now, boom, I'm on the professional side of things. I have to act different in front of other divers. I have to hold myself to a different caliber than other divers. How did you find that whole transition and process?
Actually, it came very smoothly. Like, everything sometimes comes at the right place and time. So it came really smooth, and I think the environment around me helped me a lot. Like my family, they were very supportive, and I lived in a diving community where you can easily become a diving instructor and you can gain the knowledge from different people. So it was really, really smooth. And I found myself, to be honest, every time I say, no, I'm just going to stop as a dive master, then no, I want to learn more. I want to have more knowledge. I want to have more skills. Every time you think that's it, no, you don't feel that's it. You want to have more and more and more. Yeah. You can't get enough.
I know, I
It's an
know.
addiction.
It really is. I know the feeling all too well. I have said it multiple times throughout, my career as a diver where I'm like, okay, after this, I'm going to slow down. It's going to stop. And then it never happens because then after
Yeah.
that, I'm like, oh, what is this area of diving?
Exactly. You like free diving, technical diving every time. And there's a lot of things. Oh my God. And you want to know them all, you
I
know?
know. Oh, and once you start once that book opens or that
Yeah.
chapter, there's so much that you can learn and you realize no matter what level I get to, I always still have a feeling like, do I even know anything? Because I'll open this new door and I feel like I know nothing.
Exactly. That just happened with me. I was taking a core restoration course with Ocean Quest, if you heard about him, about Dr. Anwar. He's from Malaysia, actually. He's a legend. He graduated from, I think, the US, Florida. He has this organization called Coral Quest. So I'm obsessed with corals and I really, really want to learn more about it. So when I started this course with him, I found out I have no idea. I knew nothing about corals. I was like diving, I have nothing. Like I have no knowledge. When I understood that you have to do decompression stops for corals, that was crazy. Can you believe this?
I did not know that. No.
If you're gonna take coral to the surface for restoration and you have to do decompression stops
Oh,
for the
okay.
corals. So
Oh,
she doesn't get or they don't get decompression sickness.
so they're very much like us.
Yes. Oh my God, it was like all mind blowing course. It was really mind blowing. I just finished with him. It was amazing.
Oh,
Yeah.
awesome. Well, I want to go a little bit more into that, but another question I wanted to ask is, out of your whole family, are you the only diver in your whole family?
Unfortunately, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nobody else wants to try?
My brother and my sister-in-law, they tried to get it, and, like they got the open water advance, and that's it. They don't really dive. They're not active
Okay,
at
okay.
all. Just, to support me, to give some support, and
Yeah,
then
yeah. No, that's amazing though, because it's funny how it works out sometimes. How I'll meet people and they're like, "Yeah, I'm the only person in my family that dives. Nobody else does it." Which is, I don't want to call it strange. It's amazing that you found your path and went down it because
yeah,
when you don't have people in your family that dive, it's like this whole side thing. But the fact that they support you and that's absolutely amazing.
yeah, that's true.
So tell me a little bit more about the coral restoration course. So I have very, very little knowledge. I did do a conservation project where I was able to learn more about coral. And I know certain pieces or certain types of corals. And, the biggest takeaway, which is sad to say, and I need to get back into it, is, obviously I can tell a hard coral or a soft coral or rubble or coral that's just starting to bleach or a completely
Yeah.
bleached coral. So there's little bit of knowledge that I have, but tell me about the course and what you learned. How long was the course? Where did you take the course?
So it was really also a great opportunity. Nick, I have been contacting my business partner and Red Sea Citizen. Like, he's the first person who took me for this first scuba diving in my life in
Oh,
2008. Now we work together.
that's awesome.
So I was telling him, please find, do you know anyone who can teach us a course about course? He was contacting some professors in Egypt. He requires to have 10 students in order to come and teach us. So I was searching here and there. I wanted something in the Red Sea. I didn't really want to travel to Indonesia or anywhere to get the course. I want something in our environment. And then he to become a course director in Malaysia, and he met some guy. His name is Rohan. They both took the course, and he asked him about Dr. Anwar. He said, "Can I have his contact?" He contacted him, and by coincidence, Dr. Anwar was going to France, and then he's going back to Thailand. At this time, he said, "Yes, I can pass by Egypt and give you the course." I said, "Oh my God, is this true?" He said, "Yes." So he booked his flight on the 18th of September. So
Oh,
we met
wow.
him in Egypt. Yes. I went to Egypt and then I got the course. We got the course with him. The course was around 4 or 5 days, but the practical part, but the theory part, it's quite a very long one. So it was amazing meeting him. He has a great knowledge about course. He's obsessed about course. So I'm glad that we had this opportunity to meet him and to learn from Dr. Anwar. He also does an free online lecture every Friday. If you want to join, I
Okay,
think
okay.
you can join. Yes. So, and he's spreading his knowledge like worldwide, and he has a lot of students in France and Europe, and he does some projects in Thailand for national parks, Malaysia, Indonesia, all this. So it's easier for you to meet him and see him. He's from
Oh,
Malaysia.
okay. I am very sad to say that I feel like he sounds super familiar. I am so bad with names. I know faces so much
Yeah,
better, and I'm
me
horrible
too.
with names. And I'll have to definitely look into him because that's an absolutely amazing resource, especially so close to, or not even so close, but being in Malaysia. I try to go to most of the shows. I don't get to all of them, but
Yeah.
Malaysia is, since I moved here, it's just developed an absolute huge place in my heart. And definitely, like, I try to do as much possible in Malaysia, but I do like to travel too. Indonesia
Yeah.
captured my heart many years ago, and I
Oh,
definitely,
it's beautiful.
oh,
Yeah.
it's the best place. I'm actually headed there on Tuesday. I'm headed to
Oh,
Indonesia for some
great.
fun diving. Yeah, I'm very excited.
I'm going at the end of this year. We have liveaboard in Raja Ambat.
Oh, okay,
Haven't
okay.
been there before, yes. So we're organizing this trip with 10 people. We are just 10 people.
Oh,
And I'm
okay.
so excited to go and see the cores in there. Have you ever been to the Red Sea before?
I have not, and I have heard.
Come on, Nick.
Oh, I know, I know. I've only heard amazing, absolutely amazing things, and it's been on the bucket list for so long. It's definitely a place that I need to get to. So, well, tell me a little bit about the Red Sea, and then also I wanted to ask you about Red Sea Citizen. So, can you kind of tell me a little
Yeah.
bit about both of those? Actually, first, sorry, really quickly. No, all
No
these
problem.
questions are just flooding in. That is absolutely amazing that your business partner is the person that taught you how to scuba dive. Have you ever talked to him about, like, did you ever think that this would happen, that we would be going into business together after that first course? Like that's a
Yeah,
pretty awesome accomplishment, especially as an instructor to see how far you've gone.
exactly. I will tell you the story now. So when I did my all courses until the instructor, it wasn't with him. It was with someone else. And the day I got my certificate as a scuba diving instructor, he's in the neighborhood. I saw him. So I told him, "Today I become instructor. Do you remember me?" He said, "Of course." I said, "How come you remember me? You've done a lot of discovery." He said, I never forgot your discovery dive because he was pushing me, and this is the only person who does this to me." Usually people are panicking, afraid of water. So I told him today I become an instructor. He was really proud and happy, and he said he became a manager of a new diving center in a 5 stars hotel. He told me, "Do you want to join us? Do you want to join the team and come and work with us?" So absolutely, of course. So I started to work with him. He was the manager of the diving center, and I am one of the instructors there. So he was like mentor, like I was teaching from him. You know, when you become a diving instructor in the beginning, you're a bit lost. You want
Yeah.
someone to shadow or to learn from him how to teach the courses in the proper way. So he was really my mentor, and he was over there, like supporting me when I become an instructor. And I worked with him there like for 2 years, and they decided to come to Saudi. I established something called Pink Bubbles Divers, if you want to ask me about Red Sea Citizen, to support Saudi women and to empower them to learn and become scuba divers. But before I came to Saudi, I wanted to get also more knowledge. Now I become instructor in recreational scuba diving. I wanted to become a technical. He's actually a technical scuba diving instructor. I got my technical diving course with him. It was in 2015. And that moment when I became the first Saudi female technical diver at 2015. And then I decided to come back to Saudi and teach women here how to scuba diving and to create this women diving community in Saudi Arabia. It was a great time. We did the first PADI Women's Dive Day in 2017. And then in 2018, I started to do the PADI events every year to spread the sport among the Saudi women in here. Yeah. And in 2020, that's the moment when I said, let's just go bigger, not just women. Let's do it for male and female and everyone and make it as a proper, like, bigger business, because it was just community. And then I decided to do Red Sea Citizen Dive Club because I really feel I belong to the Red Sea. So that's why I got the name, the Red Sea Citizen. So I did the Red Sea Citizen Dive Club, and now we organize international liveaboards like Egypt, Maldives, now Indonesia, and every year we try to open new destination, teaching diving courses in Egypt and Saudi Arabia, but we are based in Saudi. Also, now we got this coral conservation courses, and we want to spread this also between both gender, male and female. But we have this area where we have this privacy and special, like, for women. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
we does women only live aboard where they can come and be themselves and comfortable in a safe women environment.
Oh, that's amazing. What are some of the challenges that you find when you're trying to build up that community? Is there challenges? Do you find that women want to dive? Do you find that can you tell me a little bit more about that side of it?
Nick, when people always ask me about challenging, maybe I have fish memory, or maybe because I passed I got over the challenge, I can't remember it, or maybe obstacles sometimes is part of the journey.
Yeah.
When you drive and then you have this, it's called bump. What is
Yeah.
it called on the street?
Speed bump. Yeah.
Yeah, speed bump. You just go through it. You don't remember it later that you have been challenging or you have this speed bump. No, you're focusing on the final destination. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the challenges for me, I see it this way. But back then, in that time, because it's a new thing for women, they had some fears. Especially, I'm a female instructor. Sometimes when you are women, they have maybe more trust in men. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But to
Yeah.
be honest, as a female, because we have this sometimes feeling, we want to prove ourselves, we want to show that, no, we care about safety. We are very committed to scuba. We have a huge feel of safety and the caution when we dive, and we do the standards by book, you know what I mean? To prove that, no, we're not less than men. So we do it the right way.
Oh, I love that. No, I absolutely love that. That's amazing. And I love that analogy about the challenges, just looking at it as a speed bump, because you're absolutely right. Like, once you go over the speed bump, a mile, a kilometer down the road, you're not even thinking about it. It's completely lost
Yeah.
and forgotten. And to look at it that way is absolutely amazing. I love it. So, well, I guess back to the other question, and I have heard quite a bit about the Red Sea, but tell me a little bit more about the Red Sea, because it's a place that I need to go to, a place that I want to go to. So tell me just kind of a little bit, a brief summary of the type of diving, type of things you can see in the water.
All right. So if you dive in Indonesia or in Asia where it's tropical, once you surface from the water, you see a lot of trees and greenery, right? But in the Red Sea, it's subtropic sea. So when you surface from the water, you see desert. Yes, it's just beige, but it's beautiful. But when you are out of the water, you see just the water blue and the mountains, and it's beige and blue. But once you jump in the water in the Red Sea, you see all the colors in the world. You see the pink, the purple, the blue, the yellow, red, all the colors. It's rich, rich of coral reefs in there, rich of fishes, marine life, pelagics. So each area in the Red Sea is different. Like we have sandy area where the Gulf of Suez, and in some areas in Jeddah, and we have Gulf of Aqaba where it's drop off and deep water, pelagics. So it's completely different each area in the Red Sea, and they all rich, of course, beautiful.
Yeah, no, every time I see pictures or footage from that area, it really just gets me every time, and I'm like, I have to make it out there. I have to make it out there. And
This summer, Nick,
oh,
this summer,
is that the best
please
time of year?
make
Is
your
it?
summer. It's great, like October, November, June, July. Anytime you want to come, just come. The Red Sea is great all time, all year
Okay.
around.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are there strong currents there, or is it pretty mellow?
Some areas, yes, but it's not like the Maldives. It's not like the Indian Ocean. We don't use reef hook or stuff like that. We just go
Oh,
with the
okay.
current for drift dives or stuff like that.
Yeah, I will. I
Yeah.
will definitely now that I have made a new friend out there, I will definitely have to make it
Yeah,
out.
you're gonna be my host whenever you want to have an open invitation.
All right.
You can come to Saudi or Egypt. You have two countries. Come
Oh,
on, Nick. Think about it.
oh,
Seriously, really.
no, I will. I absolutely will. That sounds absolutely amazing. Yeah, it's a place that I need to go to. So why
And it's
not
in
make
the
it to?
middle, it's not far away. It's in the middle between Europe, Asia, anywhere.
I don't think it's super far. Well, I mean, obviously it's a little far, but I don't think it's very far because far for me is like going back to Texas or something. So like
Yeah,
that
no,
is
it's
like
in
a
the
halfway
middle.
point. So no, that would be
Yeah.
absolutely fun and amazing. And then I guess my next question is because I'm curious to know. You were telling me that you had a dry suit story, but
Yeah.
you are an ambassador for Avatar. Can you tell me a little bit how it all unfolded? And then I'm curious to know about this dry suit story.
Okay, so let's start from the dry suit story because it takes us to this part,
Okay.
the ambassadorship. Okay, so when I decided to become a technical diver in 2015, I had to learn how to use dry suit because it's quite cold when you go down there. So I got a diving suit. It was huge. It was X large and it was main suit, but I really wanted to get this dry suit. So I get the dry suit and I tried it on the swimming pool. To be honest, Nick, learning how to use dry suit is the most challenging thing was for me.
Oh, okay,
It's
okay.
very easy to many people except me. I think it's very challenging to learn how to use the dry suit. So I tried diving in a swimming pool first, and it was easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Everything was fine. And then I wanted to try it in the sea. I supposed to try it in the daytime, but that day it was the new year, like from 2014 to 2015. And then I decided to try it on the new year dive. So I went to the sea. It was night. I put my fins on and jump in the water. I wanted to stay 1 year from 2014 to 2015. But because the dry suit was huge, my feet came out from the boot. So
Oh,
my feet was like swimming inside the suit. So I got really like uncomfortable and panicked because my pants and the boot was out, and my feet was just, you know, hovering inside the boot, inside the suit. It was really horrible experience. Like I just wanted to end the dive and go out. I came out, I took off the suit, and then I'm not using this suit anymore. It's huge. So I sell this suit, and I said, that's it. That was 2015. And then later, like from 2015 until 2022, I decided to give it another chance.
okay,
And
okay.
then I ordered Avatar dry suit online.
How did you choose Avatar?
I read about it. It's very light. I saw also someone wearing Avatar, so it looks light, not bulky. That one was really bulky. I was like inside the suit without any reference. So this one This one looks like more elegant and very simple, and not bulky. So I said, let me give it a try. And it's a women. So I want something from that. The first one I had, it was men dry suit.
Oh,
So I
okay,
got
okay.
this dry suit. And they also, I don't want something really I want something light because I usually travel. So I ordered the dry suit, the Avatar dry suit, and I tried it on. It was great. It was my size. Everything was perfect. And then I went to try it in the sea. Oh my God. I was going all upside down. The shoes goes, my feet goes up, my head goes down. And I remember this first event I had with the other suit. So I had like trauma, with the dry suit. I said I was really, I felt before you go, you think it's very easy, and you are a scuba diving instructor, you're gonna master it like this, and it's gonna be super simple. But I got really disappointed. My expectation was very high. I got really, really disappointed from my performance underwater with the dry suit. So I came up. I was really, really sad, and I was climbing the ladder, and then I fall down on the ladder. I lost the
Oh.
stick. Yeah,
Oh.
it was just it's fall down, So I was just sitting there crying with the suit and my teeth on the floor, and then they
I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh. I'm sorry.
no, it's funny, it's really funny. Then I said, this is because of the dry suit, everything was I blaming the dry suit. So I really had bad experience with the dry suit. So I can, but that is not the dry suit
Yeah. Yeah.
fault. But in my mind, all the dry suit fault. So I came out from this. Okay, so they took me away. They removed the suit, and then we went to the hospital. They put it back again. My teeth. Okay, and then I stopped using the dry suit for 1 year, and then I said, no, nothing will stop me. Like I can't have a weakness point, in diving. So I decided to go again and try Avatar again and go diving with Avatar. So in the winter, Feb, I put my suit on, and then I told my partner, he's also he teaches dry suit specialties and stuff like that. I just want to go in the water by myself, like you can be around, but I just gonna go and focus with myself and the dry suit. So I went down. I tried to focus on my buoyancy, the air, everything, how to deflate, how to inflate, all these things. I was really calm. And once I got the skills, oh my God, I felt with love with dry suit, especially Avatar. You know what I mean? Because it was perfect. So now I'm waiting for, usually Nick, when it's winter, I hate going scuba diving because I hate cold water.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of cold water. I don't enjoy it. I'm just stressed and cold all the time. So when I found out about the avatar and the dry suit, I said, "Oh my God, this is blessed. How come all these years I didn't use dry suit before?" So once I start to master the skills, I had a great buoyancy and I don't go upside down. I fell in love with the dry suit. And I really want to dive all my dives, even in summer with dry suit. But of course I can't because it's bloody hot in here, like 34 degrees this summer.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, we had also core bleaching and stuff. So it's really, really hot. Then I really loved Avatar. They felt really loyal to the brand. I contact them and told them, my name is Nouf. I would love to be an ambassador for the Avatar dry suit, and then they welcomed like they said, yeah, okay, let's just have this collaboration and things. So and then I become an ambassador from someone who doesn't know how to dive with a dry suit, had trauma with dry, two traumas with the dry suit, to an ambassador to one of the best dry suit companies.
I love that. I also love that fact how you could have given up. You were like, nope, I'm gonna conquer this. I'm gonna take on the challenge, go over the speed bump. And no, that's absolutely amazing. I'll be honest with you. I
And the
am
state
all
always remind me. This challenge I can't forget, Nick, because it's in my face, my teeth.
sorry, I feel bad laughing. But just to have trouble with it, and a lot of people would give up, but you're like, no, I'm gonna keep on persevering, keep on going with it. And what I was gonna say too is, no, I'm very, very much in the same boat. I am not a big fan of cold water, and
Yeah.
people will joke around and be like, oh, it's 24 or 25, and I basically tell like everybody anything under 25 is cold to me.
Yeah, 25, it's bloody cold. 25, I go with dry suit. This is where I wear dry suit.
I mean, it's not the only reason, but I swear, like for the longest time, I was like, I need to move to Southeast Asia because one, it never gets cold there, and two, it's just warm water diving all year round. There are places where the water gets cold, yes, but
Yeah.
no. And then that's funny. I was gonna ask about if because I have met people that they don't ever want to dive in a wetsuit. They just stay dry the whole time. And I was gonna see if that was the thing for you, but you'll switch back and forth from dry suit to wetsuit.
Yeah, yeah, I switched back. Yeah.
So it got pretty warm there this summer. You were saying?
Oh my God, this summer when you jump in the water, you want air conditioner underwater with you. You want fan, you want to take ice with you underwater. It's really hot. It's really hot. So we had to go deeper to feel a bit refreshing, like cooler. From 0 to 10 meters, it's really, really hot. And the eels are dying, fishes are dying because the corals are bleaching and they dissolve the bacteria that compose the corals, they dissolve all the oxygen. So the fish is dying, eels, you see them dying. So
Oh,
like you're diving in a graveyard.
yeah, that's a bummer. And I know. So I was in Mexico in May and June. I want to say at that time there was like a world bleaching event like where it was just really was that yeah, I mean, I'm sure it was. I know it
This
was really
year,
warm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was really
yeah.
warm in Mexico. I remember at one point I saw like news clips where they were saying like monkey or something were falling out of the trees, just basically dying from
Oh,
heat exhaustion because it was so hot on
oh
the
my God.
surface. And that was kind of nice though. The one not the one nice thing, but in Mexico when you're diving in the cenotes, the water is relatively cool all year round. So
Yeah,
we would be sweating because we would put on the dry suits and everything, just sweating, absolutely dying of heat. And then you jump in the water and it's cold. And I have no tolerance for the cold. So usually
yeah, me too.
by the end of those dives, I was just kind of like, I wasn't shivering, but I was like, man, I could probably use another layer just because
Yeah,
I, I like to be warm. There's nothing wrong with that.
yeah. Yeah, me too. Me too. I really love being warm and I hate winter. But to be honest, Nick, after I got really, this is not marketing or anything. I contacted Avatar because I felt I loved this brand a lot because it gave me more confidence of my skills, of myself. And I felt really, really like before dry suit is really bulky and so hard to wear. And this one it's even easier than the wetsuit. So now I feel like very excited for winter. I really want to put my suit on and jump. Everything changed now.
Oh, that's
It's
awesome.
not a marketing thing at all, but this is how I really feel now.
Oh, that's awesome. I so they do look like they're really nice suits from the people that I've met that have them. They say that they one of the really nice things is how that they are super light, so they pack really
Super
easily,
light.
super travel
Yeah.
friendly, which is always a plus because you know the luggage, the weight of luggage is not getting any cheaper. So like anything you can
Yeah.
do to kind of minimize that number.
Maybe you wear it in the airplane because usually airplanes are cold as well.
I know, right? And it's funny because we're about to head out, and it's like, oh, okay. I was kind of excited because a lot of the dives that I've been doing this year are more technical based side mount, back mount doubles. So I'm always bringing two sets of regulators, dry suit, things like that. And I was like, man, this is going to be nice because we're just doing some fun single tank diving. I'm really looking forward to it. Just one regulator, a
Yeah.
wetsuit, a light wetsuit too. I think it's like, well, it's either going to be the 3 mil or the 2.5 mil. We'll see, but I don't expect
Yeah.
it's going to be very cold. And then a question. So when you moved into the technical side of it, how did you find the training for that? Were there any speed bumps? Was it challenging, or were you able to transition pretty easily into that side of diving?
No, it was really easy. It's just mathematics sometimes, the numbers that there's a lot of numbers and but we have softwares and stuff, but sometimes you have to know the manual things. The skills wasn't difficult for me. The theory part was quite difficult for in terms of a lot of numbers. And so I'm not a big fan also of mathematics, to be honest. Yeah.
I feel like we're the same
No
person.
code, no mathematics. You too? I get panic when I see a lot of numbers or stuff like that. My mind just block if someone talks me numbers. Nick, why I got also into technical, I will tell you the story. That's the thing. What makes me move on is the challenges.
Yeah.
Yes. So when I used to do recreational diving, when I go below, not below 40, below 30, I start to get narcosis, gas
Oh,
narcosis.
okay.
And what happened? I usually sleep. Like I fall asleep and then I just say, okay, I will sleep. So I usually tell my body before I go diving, I may get gas narcosis, so please take care. If I got sleep, just pull me up. So for me, it was like something I feel like doesn't have to be this way. I have to change it. And these things, it's not in your hand. You can't control it. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna learn technical and I'm gonna go deep and then I'm gonna see if I'm gonna sleep or not. So I'm gonna resist this feeling. So I started to go 40, and then 45. 45, it's the most uncomfortable dive for me to be honest. 50, it's okay. 40, it's okay. 45, it's not very comfortable dive. So I always have this feeling of sleeping, very relaxed. So I always resist the feeling. So I went to 50 and then I got the Trimix. And the first time diving with Trimix, I went to 60. And then I told my instructor, my head feels so good. How come in 60? I forgot I'm breathing Trimix, helium. So I start to go deeper and deeper. So now I got more confident of myself at not sleeping anymore underwater. So I was resisting and challenging this feeling that I used to have. So sleeping underwater pushed me to go and do the technical diving
Oh, okay.
courses.
That's great that you caught yourself. That easily could have went the other way, and we wouldn't be sitting here speaking. So
Yeah.
that's absolutely amazing that you were able to, one, identify it, and then once again take on the challenge. Absolutely love that. And then, I guess another question: what would you say from Red Sea Citizen? What would you say some of your greatest accomplishments, some of your best achievements, your the highlight moments? Can you speak about some of those moments, some of the work that you've been doing with Red Sea Citizen?
There's few, but to be honest, Nick, the best thing I have for Red Sea Citizens is the community we are creating, the people we have, the like-minded. So before I was an individual, now we are a great community who share the same values, who love the ocean, who cares about the ocean, who we travel together to explore more places in this world and appreciate the beauty that we have in our oceans. Also, one of the things that I love achieving with Red Sea Citizen is being a speaker and as the world leaders in the World Economic Forum to protect and preserve the Red Sea. So that was one of the most like moment because we're divers. We don't really care about conference, economic stuff like that. We really care about conservation. We care about the ocean. So being on the stage for the World Economic Forum and talking to another audience, not the diving audience, like world leaders, change makers, about the importance of the Red Sea and that we need to protect and take an action. Was one of the things that I really, really are proud of. So now also it's going to be a new journey with the core restoration. I become an instructor, so I will start to teach more people about the cores and restoring the cores and want to spread this knowledge that I have now. It's never stops. Every day we have something different, something new. And
Do you ever get nervous when you have to speak in front of big crowds?
of course, even with you today, Nick, my heart was, tuk, 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 tuk. I had high heart rate.
Oh, really? Well, it's not so bad now, right? Hopefully it.
Yeah, no, no, no. Now I'm very comfortable.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, cool. I try to make it as conversation based as possible because I always feel like if I were to send out a list of questions and then like somebody's gonna, it's just like we'll just see where the conversation goes. And no, but I really like what you said about the community aspect of it and then being able
yeah,
one to speak to these leaders. And a part of me, I really would love to see more people diving. I know there's two sides to that coin. Some people, want to keep diving, like, oh, you should only be diving if you're doing this, if you're doing that. And I get there's a lot of really quick courses out there. I get there's the money making side of the industry does, have its bad, it does have a bad side to it. But I
yeah,
feel that a lot of people, if they can get into the water and they can see these things, the effects that are actually happening under the water, it will prompt change, because
Yeah.
you could talk about coral bleaching, you could talk about trash in the water, you could talk about seeing animals dying all day, but
Yeah.
until you actually get in the water and see these things, that's when it actually has an impact on the person to where they want to make a change. So
Exactly.
I love the fact that you're building the community, but you're also pushing that message to get the word out there. I don't want to sound cliche about saying it, but we want future generations to be able to enjoy what we're seeing right now. And I know there's
Exactly.
always the story of 20 years ago, 30 years ago, it was so much better. And,
Yeah.
I know there's always that story, but at the same time, like, what's going to happen 50 years from now? Because I feel like we are seeing more bleaching. We are seeing just the bad side of things. And
Yeah.
I was just having a conversation with somebody today where they were just reading all these kind of like negative comments on Facebook. And
Yeah.
I was trying to prompt them to write an article, but they were just saying like, oh, I'm seeing all these negative comments. It makes me not even want to speak up. And I'm like, well, we kind of need the positive side of it, because then it balances out. Because if nobody's speaking positive, everyone's just speaking negative, and then it just kind of leans one way. So you need that the scales of justice or whatnot.
And to be honest, Nick, we are witnessing now the changes. Like if you dive in a dive site now and after 5 years you come and dive again, you see a huge difference in the same dive site. It's become very fast now. Before it used to take generation and decades. Now no, it's happening in few years. And that's really sad.
It is. No, and that's what I mean. Like, being able to see it makes you want to help and try to reverse it even
Exactly.
that much more. So we need to get everybody in the water. We need to get everybody diving and also
Yeah.
listening to the podcast too, because then they'll then
Yeah.
they'll know more. No, I'm just kidding.
But Nick, you're right, because the first trip I have organized to the Maldives, liveaboard, it was to the deep south. And it's popular with tiger sharks and a lot of, Maldives full of sharks. A lot of the people who are joining the trip, they're afraid. They have this perspective about sharks that they're man-eater, they're really dangerous, and they booked and they paid and they're coming, and they are afraid of sharks. But once they dove there and they saw the sharks and they were harmless, they did nothing to them. And they saw the sharks in the natural environment and they saw the sharks where they get feeding. When they feed sharks, their behavior is completely different than the shark. They're not getting any bait or anything in the Maldives. So they start to understand the difference and they were among lots of sharks. So their perspective about sharks changed 100%. And now they are advocates for sharks. So this is what we do. Like it's not a trip just for business. No, we are have getting these people to witness the things by their eyes so they can become advocates, so they can talk about it as well to the other people.
What's funny is, so I am also guilty. When I remember the very first time I went diving, I was backpacking through Thailand, and I'm in the dive shop. The guy's telling me all about it. It was just a Discover Scuba Dive. He's telling me all about it. He's like, oh, it's going to be beautiful. You're going to see Nemo and all his friends. You're going to see some sharks. And I swear, like, my face dropped because I didn't know anything at that point. And
Yeah,
I was
everyone.
like, what? I don't want to go see sharks. What are you talking about? Like, I don't even want to do this anymore. And he's like, no, it's not what you think. And then the first time you actually see a shark, it's so amazing. And then to
Yeah.
find out there's so many different species of sharks, and just like a few bad movies out there that put this. And there's
Yeah, the
obviously some
media.
incidents too. Yeah, but no, it's they're absolutely amazing to see, and there's still some sharks on the bucket list. I want to see a whale shark. I mean, there's tons of
Oh
sharks I'd love
yeah.
to go see, but I still have not seen a whale shark. So one of
Yeah.
these days it will
In
have to
Maldives,
happen.
maybe you can see it.
Yeah, and that's another
Yeah.
another place that I need to go is the
Yeah.
Maldives. So my last question for you before I let you go, I usually like the advice question. So somebody that is interested in trying a dry suit and they want to go into being a dry suit diver. So somebody that has had some challenges, but obviously you persevered. What is the best piece of advice that you could give to that person who is about to take their dry suit course or that is thinking about getting into a dry suit?
All right, so you're asking the right person because I had really horrible experiences. Okay, so I think the first thing is make sure you got your size. For me, I think you have to give your correct measurement. Don't just order online dry suit that you're not sure if it's your size or not, because you're gonna waste your time, money, and you will get maybe suit that it's not your size, so you're not gonna enjoy diving with the dry suit. I think get the right fit is very important. Contact the company, give them your measurement, and based on that, make your order. So don't just randomly order a dry suit online and try it on, because it's really really matter if you have the right fit. I also, if you find it challenging in the beginning, just give it another shot, because I waited like 5, 6, 7 years, and then I gave it another shot and it's worked perfectly, and now I'm obsessed with dry suit, and I'm waiting, like very exciting for the winter. I'm not afraid of winter anymore. I'm not like, oh, winter, it's a low season, I'm not diving. No, now I can dive anytime in the year, like winter, summer, it doesn't matter for me. Also, there's another thing that I found out with dry suit, Nick. In the special time of month for women, sometimes getting wet in the water and things like that is not really comfortable. But with dry suit, also this is another reason to wear dry suit as well.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, to be honest. So it keeps me warm. Also, it's dry. It's really, really a good reason also to wear a dry suit. This is another reason of wearing a dry suit. It's not just the cold weather, to be honest.
They've grown more and more on me over the years. I used to kind of be like, I only wear it when it's wintertime, but I definitely see the benefit of, I don't know if I'll ever do it year round, but I definitely see the benefit of wearing it more and
Yeah,
more for sure.
yeah. For me, I don't do it year round. I can't. But the benefits, it's really great. Like this special type of month in the winter, it's amazing. And I highly recommend, don't go with a bulky dry suit. Like don't go with the picture on this in the internet or social media. Go see someone who has this dry suit, try it on, touch it before you order it. The bulky one, I don't think you will be happy wearing this suit and enjoying diving, because you want something light and comfortable, like the avatar.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I feel the same way actually about a lot of dive equipment is go and actually touch it, see it, feel it. And then also too, you're supporting your local shop as opposed to buying online. And I know you could buy online and still support your local shop, but having it, being there and actually physically touching items,
Yeah.
it just adds to connecting with it and really seeing if that's the item that you want. Because there's nothing worse than when you spend a bunch of money online and then you get something in the
Yeah.
mail and you're
Tell me
like,
about it.
oh, you're like, this is a
Yeah.
bummer.
So you know what? Also, Nick, regarding the dry suit, or not the dry suit, sometimes things are really trendy and it's the best thing and everyone talks about it, but maybe it's not good for you. Maybe it
Ah,
doesn't fit with you. So don't go with the trend. Don't go with the social media. Try to be authentic. Try your own things. Try. You don't have to copy everyone who's going dry suit. They have to wear this brand, or they have. If you do side mount, you have to go with this brand. No, try what it works for you as a diver.
that's actually another amazing piece of advice because I'll be honest, I do get sold sometimes on social media stuff. I'm like, oh, that looks really nice. I should try that. And then I try it and I'm like, yeah, that really
Yeah,
wasn't for me. So,
overrated. Yeah.
Nouf, I absolutely appreciate you coming onto the podcast today. This has been absolutely wonderful. I
Thank you
really,
for
really
having me.
Yeah, no, this has been amazing, and I really hope to have you back on in the future. So hopefully we can schedule some time. We can talk about some coral restoration, or more things, or maybe next time is I'll actually be at the Red Sea and we can do a recording, an in-person live, well, not
Oh,
live, but in-person recording. Yeah, I don't know if I would do good live. I've been thinking about doing some live shows, but I'm like, we'll see how
yeah.
that goes.
Give it a shot. You never know. Maybe it will go like this.
Yeah,
You never
that's
know. Yeah.
that is very, very true. But once again, thank you so much for coming on to the podcast today.
Thank you for having me, and I'm really excited to host you and have you here in the Red Sea. Really, I'm serious. It's not just talk. I'm
Awesome.
serious. Think about it. This year, summer, corals, Red Sea.
I will. I will.
All right. It was really, really nice talking to you and meeting you.
a scuba podcast.